Today I'm going to show you how I make my masks. So for example, here's one of the masks. It has kind of a pleat here and a pleat here for your nose and chin to have some room. And it has a outside, an inside, and then a filter pocket. The filter pocket, you can put anything in you want, but it is 3 layers of fabric, so it's pretty good. So this one has flat elastics, which is basically just a loop of elastic that I'm overlapping and sewing. And this one has a more corded, more lightweight elastic on it that is tied. So again, this has the outside, inside, and then filter pocket. I'm going to walk you through my mask making process. First of all, I got a lot of great fabric. You can see different fun prints, from dog prints to polka dots. And I've got some frozen, just a little, kid type stuff, but also really nice, elegant things. So I have here, and then I have also smaller swatches of fabric that are also available and really cute, like the lemons and things like that. And so first what we do is I have a pattern that I'm using from somebody online. And so I have different sizes, and I had to make some extra sizes because it only had medium and large, and so I scaled it down to a child size as well. So the first thing I do is I take the fabric and it's already washed, and we're gonna cut out a pattern for somebody who ordered a Black Daisy mask. So she's gonna be a size medium, so I'm looking for my medium pattern. So I need one medium, this is the outside, and then I need 2 insides because the mask has not only a front and a back, but it also has a filter pocket, so I need 2 of these. So what I do is I'm just gonna come down and make sure that my mask is my templates are gonna fit. I'm gonna iron here, and then I'm going to place my outside right here and just gently draw along the edges. Now I've made this mask so many times that I now know to add just a little bit of width to the medium and large. So I'm gonna just move it over a little bit. That gives a little bit more space between the nose and the chin. So I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna cut it out. I'm gonna mark my nose and chin lines that are like pleats, and I'm gonna cut it out, and I'm gonna do the same for the filter pocket and the backing. Those are a little bit smaller because the outside is folded in, and so that it can be all sewed together, which I'll show you in some of the next steps to come. All right, so thank you, that's step 1. Okay, so first thing we're gonna do now that we have outside, inside, and filter pocket is we're going to sew along the edges just the nose and the chin pleat. This is the nose pleat, this is the chin pleat on all 3. Okay, so I will start sewing. This is my new sewing machine that I got. Well, my other one was having a little trouble, so I went ahead and got the new sewing machine. So when I do both sides of this, I'll show you, when I do both sides, then I take this on all 3 of these. I take this part and I'm gonna cut it off. So I'm gonna cut this part off like this. 1 and 2. Now this is one of my filter pockets, so I'm gonna leave this actually inside out for now. But if it was this big one, and I'll show you when we get to our table, that I would be turning it inside out. I'd be turning it right side out to start the mask. So I'll see you at that process next. Okay, so now we're going to look at how we put the mask together from the 3 separate pieces that we talked about before. So we're going to take the outside piece and we're going to actually take it and fold it right side out. And I'm going to iron this so that it's a nice flat seam. This is one that has swimmers on it, it's kind of fun. And then I want my inside fabric, which you're not going to see very much of, to be next. And so what I do is I line up the, you see how this way doesn't match. So I line up the pattern so it's like this. I'm going to put this inside, making sure that, try to get it as close as I can to the seam and making sure it has the same amount of space here on the top and here on the bottom. So now that I have it inside, I'm going to fold the layer here and on top as well. Get that nice and hot. Turn around, do the same thing with the other side. So this is just creating a nice hem along the sides of the mask. Now that I've done that, I'm going to get ready to do my liner. So this is my it's a liner, but it's called the filter pocket. There you go. And we're going to make a little hem on this one so that there's space to put something inside. So we're going to roll down twice and iron it so it's nice and flat. And we have to align our seams again, make sure that see right there it doesn't match. So we're going to flip it. So now that's a perfect match. So we're going to slip it inside of we're going to try to get that same, match up the seams inside and get equal amounts on the top and the bottom, and then open it up, and we're going to make our second hem. So we're going to make our second hem and iron that on this side as well. And the same side on the other, do the same on the other side. I'm going to create this right here. And this we're almost done with this step. So this step is right before our sewing together the mask. So this is basically step 3. So now I'm going to make sure that we have a nice seam on the front and on the bottom so that when it sews nice and flat right here on the seam. So we're going to do this for the seam. I'm going to iron the seam this place right there, and I'm going to iron the seam. Make sure this goes like this, just like it was. We're going to iron the seam on this side. Then we're going to fold it back together. This is basically what the mask is going to look like. I'm going to go to step 4, which is sewing the mask. So basically this is the raw mask before it's sewed, and then these sides will be turned under, and this is where the elastic will go. Now we're on to step 4. Okay, so now we're on step 4. And step 4, there are these ties that go around coffee bags or cookie bags, and I bought them off of Amazon, and they have a small gauge wire on the top and on the bottom, and it's plastic so you can wash this. And I cut it to make a little nose piece. So I take the sticky back off, and this is the nose and this is the chin. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to put it inside where the nose is. Make sure it's even on both sides. Okay, that's good. So now I'm going to start to sew the mask together. So we're going to sew on one side. And where are the small scissors? Then I'm going to sew on the other side. I got to be careful because I don't want to sew the nose piece because then I could break my needle. So I don't want to break my needle. So I make sure that it's in place. Good, this is good, and we're gonna sew this side together. Back stitch a little bit. That little button there is a back stitch, so you want to lock your stitch in place. You don't want to forget that part. And now we are ready for the next step. So the next step is, come on over with me, is to create a little gusset for our elastic. So I'm going to show you right here. We're creating a little fold. Let me move this light this way so you can see a little bit better. So we're creating a little fold right here, and I'll do the same thing with the other side. 1, 2, creating a little fold, and what we're going to do is we're going to measure out in step 5. We're going to measure out, come back with me. We're going to measure out our elastic. This is I use both a flat elastic, but I also use this new corded, very stretchy, lightweight one as well. So we're going to use this one for this. So I'm going to measure out about 18 inches. This is not the scissors I usually use for this. And then we're making 2 strands of the same length. And then we're going to put it in here. Let me move my light so you can see a little bit better. Put it in the gusset, and we're going to sew. Back stitch, and sew along here. And take it out, snip the string, the thread, and then we're going to tie the elastic. So with this elastic, you can tie it in a couple ways. You can tie it 2-fold and go like this, and tie it so that you have like a little bit sturdier of a knot. That's what I'm going to do with that side. Okay, and then we're going to rotate the knot into the gusset so that you can't see the knot. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing with the other side, and then I'll show you the finished mask. Okay, so now we have our finished mask, and you make sure you have the nose piece on the top, and you can put something in the filter pocket if you would like, and you put it on your face, adjust the nose piece and the elastics a little bit, and there we go.